Alright, boys, it's still the 20th of November, and she's still a-raining. You know, the cat's coming out of the bag. You know that, don't you? What I've been showing with this HF2 call. You want to see, this is probably this video right here that I did. You see the title of that video right there? Done 1 day ago, it says there, but I believe it was done day before yesterday. I can't remember. Manticore M8 call and DS2 HF2 call sweeping fall that mimics nickel ID. Alright. Alright, boys, November 8th. That video right there. Nighttime video. Manticore and DS2 HF2 call over nickel and item mimics nickel. Those two videos right there combined are probably Academy Award-winning videos when it comes to metal detecting. Alright. Paystreak. I don't have anything against you. If you, I notice you're using that Manticore, you should go have a look at those two videos. And anybody else that wants to have a look at them. Okay, those two videos combined together is an Academy Award-winning production. Now, in the end of this video here, let's see, which one is it here? That one right there. In the end of that video right there, you're going to hear me say, I use the phrase, I know. And what I mean by that in that video is, if I'm using that HF2 coil, I want you to listen to what I say in the end of that video right there. Those three targets that I put an additional target up on that 2x4. Okay? And basically, the nickel on that 2x4 is behaving like a nickel in that HF2 coil. Alright? The can slaw is not, or I'm sorry, the foil. The folded up foil is not behaving like a nickel. It's not behaving like a gold ring. The nickel is behaving like a nickel. The nickel is not behaving like a ring shaped device. The last item that I did the nighttime video with is sitting right in there, and I put it up on the 2x4. It's a circular enclosure of part of a square tab. It's like a half of a square tab. That particular target, you can tell it's not a nickel with the HF2 coil. It could be a gold ring. It's not can slaw. So you see, all three of those targets with that HF2 coil, I knew something about. With the Manticore, I didn't know shit. Other than they all read the same. And they all gave a good dot presentation on the screen. I didn't know anything about them. Meaning, any one of those three, or two of those three, or all three of those targets could have been a gold ring. They could have all three been nickels. They could have all three been like that little small half of a pull square tab that I had on that board. They could have all, it could have been three of those. How about that? Now, some of you old timers out there may remember this, okay? I'll never forget this. White's metal detectors, when they were in business, made a detector called a White's V3i. You know what it said on the side of that box? And I'm not bullshitting you. You can find this on the internet. Know what's in the ground before you dig. Okay? I'm not shitting you. Well, you know, when you're using this HF2 coil like I've been showing it in multi-frequency, it's almost like it's not what the target is. You're using more of a process of elimination on what it's not, if you get my drift. So if it doesn't behave like CANSLAW, okay, then it could be a ring pull, square tab, ring, maybe a few other things. All right? See how that works? It's like you're using the process of elimination. You're probably not going to get over too many nickels with that machine at shallower and mid depths and mild ground especially, where when you go up in that frequency, the ID stays constant. There's going to be some rise. If the ID goes down, it probably ain't a nickel. You see what I mean? So you could probably, you know, you're saying, okay, well, it's not a nickel. Same goes for that little third item in this video that I placed up on the board. The way it behaves, you can eliminate it being a nickel because it has like a 6 ID shift when you raise frequency. So you know it's not a nickel. Could be a gold ring. Oh, it's not CANSLAW. So you're using the process of elimination is what I'm saying. So that little thing that White's had on the side of that one says, know what's in the ground. Well, with this HF2 coil, when I use it, I could probably use the slogan for that coil, know what's not in the ground before I dig, if you get my drift. But the cat is coming out of the bag here. Okay, listen. There's a lot of targets dug out there in the wild between 4 or 5 inches deep every day with a metal detector, okay? There's foil dug, CANSLAW, you know, sharpshooter's no fool. Alright? I don't want to dig that stuff if I can avoid it. I don't think anybody else does either. And no, you can't use audio and do this with a HF2 coil necessarily. You need to be looking at that meter. Y'all get my drift? You need to be looking at the meter. Now, using full tones, could I hear a 5-point shift in ID listening to that tone with that machine? Well, why would I do that when I can look at the meter? Or 7 points. Or it drops 2 points. How am I going to hear that? The meter. They put meters on these machines. Well, in this, what I'm doing with this HF2 coil, it can be very beneficial. Now, I've done took this thing out in the wild, okay? I believe it's for real. It's not perfect. But if it can save you from digging even 3 or 4 holes every hunt you go on, when you add those up over a year or two, what does that mean exactly? There's some sites it's going to save you a lot more than 2 or 3 or 4 holes. All right? But again, if you're a dig-all detectorist, everything I've showed on that detector, in regards to what this video right here is showing, don't mean a hill of beans to you, okay? And I understand that. All right, that is going to conclude the video, the old hick from the sticks.